Leonidas, I want.
Because in Singapore, you see.
AI?
Yes.
Leonidas, I want to say congratulations to being accepted to the Houston Comedy Film Festival for your sketch comedy, Coffee Logic.
Thank you. I'm speechless. It came by as a surprise. It's in the very long spreadsheet I have about the festivals I've submitted. Houston Comedy Film Festival came like the third rejection. Third selection, and in a festival that has a nice venue and it has. I mean, it's niche festival, right? It's about comedy, so it's amazing.
Yes, I definitely want to say congratulations because I know when it comes down to your particular film, sometimes it can go over some people's head because it was very philosophical. And I also feel like you were trolling some of the filmmakers, but I loved it because you can teach some valuable lessons. Can you go over the storyline and the plot with a toaster and then from a coffee machine and the vending machine? Can you explain your thought process behind all of this? I feel like this can relate something in your personal life.
One thing in those 10 years that I've been doing this thing, you have to tell what you know about, right?
You
Rule of
can't give
thumb.
away nothing.
Absolutely. So the long story short, I've feel rejections everywhere. Film industry, my company. As a matter of fact, I've been retrenched recently, but I think it's a blessing in disguise, definitely. And Coffee Logic is actually season 2, episode 1. All right. I mean, I've already completed 2 seasons. The first one is 17 episodes. The season 2 is 10 only. I thought I don't want to make it so long. Sorry. And it all started in my workplace, my former work. Initially, my job scope was, my job description was 50% in marketing, in the creative team, and 50% to do what I've been doing for 20 years, which is dentistry. I worked as a dental technician. I'm not a dental technician. That's a big difference. I'm an artist.
I'm like, you have these
Exactly.
that's see.
Yeah. No, it's fine. And the thing is, in July last year, after a chain of unwanted events, I was taken out from the creative team because I was so angry. I was so frustrated because I was giving everything at no extra cost. I mean, I absorbed everything within my salary. And I also got some awards for a project that I've done using Gustav and Anton, those 2 characters, because those have long story.
Yeah.
And still, I was still taken out from the creative team. I said, then I'm gonna kill Gustav and Anton. So I said, I'll continue doing my own stuff. So I came up with a pilot. Initially, it wasn't even thought to be. It wasn't meant to be a series, a web series. It was just meant to be some sketches, standalone sketches, as I did in the past. But then I saw the potential. I didn't want to criticize my company because it was still feeding me, right? So I took, which was the next frustration I was coming from. The film industry, of course. What else? Because in Singapore, you see, I mean, it happens everywhere else. I just so happen to live in Singapore, so that's why I'm mentioning Singapore.
Yes.
The market is very small, so local talents first. The foreigners come later for the crumbs, for the small roles, for the filling up roles. If lucky, some recurrent supporting role in the series. I was lucky in 2 occasions, but that's pretty much of it. And then maybe some commercials or students' films, and that's it. Nothing else.
I would like you to just elaborate for a second because I find this so fascinating and I love Asia. So my questions are, what is it like within the film market there in Singapore for those that are wanting to maybe do film production within Asia, especially that area? What is it like? Are there many options to choose from locally? Are people really interested in film there?
Yes, absolutely. As a matter of fact, there are pretty good production companies here. I had a chance to work with many of them. Uh, yeah, many, considering 10 years and Singapore is a small market. For example, am I allowed to give names? Yeah.
Yeah, you can as long as they don't get mad at you. But yes, you can give names.
Yes. Okay. There are a few production companies that I hold very dear to my heart because they always treated me very nice. So they come in. It's White Pot Productions, for example, in the when it comes to commercials.
Okay.
I mean, I had a commercial with Cristiano Ronaldo, and I was called by them, Leo. We have a role for you, and I think you fit the bill just nice. It was a call. I mean, you don't have that often, that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I had a few projects with them, all advertising. It's commercial, TV commercials we call it over here. And then I worked with Concept Productions. Now I think they moved to Greybeard Productions with the TV series for the Malay channel for Studia, Media Group Studia. It was Kultus. I was portraying the character of Rob, a muscle man of a cult. This series, as a matter of fact, was shot the first half in the States, upstate New York, and the second half in Singapore, 13 episodes. So my presence is only from episode 7 onward till the end. And then Echo Entertainment as well. I had another recurrent role there, classmates. So those three production companies, for example, Shaiful, it's a great DOP. He's, I mean, whenever I have a project and I ask who is the DOP, and they say Shaiful, I know exactly what it's gonna be a very nice cinematography.
Leonidas, how many years have you been in film? And how long have you lived in Singapore?
I've been in film 10 years, in Singapore 11.
Oh,
I
wow.
had some small gigs in Spain, but I was nothing. I mean, there were teenage times. I hardly recall.
Yeah, I feel like you were maybe possibly inspired while you were over there. And there's more opportunities, would you say?
Not really. Not really. The thing is, it didn't came before because in Spain I was so busy with the teeth. I was
Mm.
working like normal. It was normal 12 hours a day. Normal. I mean, when there were 12 hours, I say, wow, so relaxed. I mean, 14, 15, 16 hours. There was quite often. I had no time to think what I wanted for myself. When I came to
Mm.
Singapore, where the work is more regulated, it's, I mean, cannot compare the working conditions and so on. Way, way more by the book than back in Spain.
Yeah.
And I was working 8 hours and a half, 9 hours, including the lunch break, and I had time to think for myself. Then I don't know, it just happened. And the thing is, my wife is a friend, and her husband is an actor, right? Right now he's in LA. He's a SAG actor right now. I had a chance. I was lucky to meet him by then, and I just asked him. It was a, a chit chat of a coffee in one afternoon. What does it take to be an actor? He said. I was expecting him to tell. I was expecting him to say that something like, "Wow, you need to study this, you need to study that. I don't know whose method, don't know blah blah blah." No, instead his answer was very simple. It depends on your network. Who you know. Okay. And the rest was history. I mean, he just introduced me to a Facebook casting call group that
Yes.
was about 10 years ago. Now there's about 20,000 members, and now I am one of the admins. Go figures.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm the gatekeeper for the post approval or rejection because we have quite strict guidelines there.
I need to join this group. I need to join.
Oh yeah, definitely. So
Oh,
yeah, please be my guest. I will
oh
send
man.
you the link to one.
We can have a whole like fun talk, just like a community talk and discussion. That could be a whole thing.
That
You're actually making me think too, Leonidas, because when it comes down to even what you're telling me, and I'm thinking about just even the storyline with Coffee Logics, and I'm thinking about Gustav and his thought process of failing forward. And I feel like even as you're speaking with your personal life, yeah, it's relating. And so I'm like, can you just elaborate more on Gustav? Because Anton kind of reminds me of all of those critics that are just like, oh, like it's not going to happen, or just they're very practical, but like you elaborate.
okay. So okay, I will talk about Gustav. Gustav is a character that is very dear to me. Initially, he wasn't that cynic. Initially, he wasn't that ironic. Initially, he was an innocent character. It was an extension of some part of my very own self, and it was created somewhere in 2018. So Gustav starting to be a very innocent guy, clumsy. Uh, he hardly understood jokes. So Anton was the other way around. He was a bit more cynical one. I have a set of old skits, old sketches of that era, black and white. As a matter of fact, Gustav was wearing a white gig that time, a white wig, sorry, a white wig that time. When I realized that I have problems with editing the chroma key, because you see, this is what I'm filming. This is in my green room.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and I
That
have
is
the
convenient. I need to do this in my garage.
yeah. Oh, I would love to have a garage. Trust me. So in July, I said, okay, I want the stuff to be different because at that moment I was a bit, I was down emotionally.
Yeah.
Um, so I needed Gustav to be grounded. I needed him to be that part of myself that pulls me out from the dark place.
Got it.
The notice that when they told me that I was not more, I wasn't in the creative team anymore, was it practically killed half of my. So Gustav was there. So this character, I said it has to be harsh, it has to be jolting, it has to be uh, the friend that I don't have here, because here, besides my wife, my social life, maybe sometimes some actors gathering, but that once in a blue moon, that's pretty
Mm,
much of it. So I practically divided myself in two. On one hand, I kept being the artist, as you see Anton. Well, Anton is a bit exaggerated. I'm not like that. Okay. And
yeah.
then on the other hand, I needed to keep telling myself, don't worry, your moment will come. Just trust the process and keep going. Just
Yeah.
look behind the path you've already walked and you will see where you are now, how big the difference is. So Gustav has been more like a mechanism to cope with the fragile part of myself was going through that time. And as a matter of fact, when I saw the first draft, and I was laughing myself, I was laughing, reading. I was at the seaside with my wife having dinner, and I was like, oh my god, this has potential for something way much bigger. As a matter of fact, for the past 10 years, I've been living a dual life. 9 to 5:30, it was doing the dental work, high
Uh-huh.
precision and everything. And after work, I was the artist, writing screenplays, doing my weird project because I, I can't describe them.
I
So
want
more
to
like a learning
compliment.
experience.
I want to compliment you because with this particular project, correct me if I'm wrong. You did this all on your iPhone, and you recorded. You edited this on your tablet. Is that correct?
Well, I didn't use an iPhone. I used an Oppo. I'm an Android. I'm not an iPhone guy.
Oh,
Sorry,
excuse
no, it's
me.
a joke. I know it.
Oh,
I
wow,
know.
the different sides of the team.
No, I know you guys. You call iPhone to smartphones, right? Over there, if I'm not wrong.
Well, I'm biased because I worked for Apple for like 10 years, so that's
Oh
why
my
team
goodness.
iPhone.
I actually story. My wife is iPhone too, so we have the wars of IT over there. No,
Yeah, and
kidding.
I even wanna
No, it's
say,
true.
Leonidas, that's really impressive when it comes down to you even creating your story, telling your story using your phone, because there are different people I speak to across the world that send me messages, and they're like, "Rosalind, I wanna do this or I wanna do that," but don't you have the phone in your hand? You can create something magical and tell your story. You don't have to wait for somebody to give you something. What resources do you have? Can you share
Exactly.
any advice to anybody that's inspired that wants to make a short film from their handheld device?
Absolutely, you can. Okay, it's important to have a good device. Uh, but they are way much cheaper than any camera you want to buy. Any decent camera. I mean, you want to buy Canon or Nikon. I mean, I'm talking about Singaporean dollars. $3,000, 3.7 at maybe like 2.5 US, 2.5K US probably. You won't find anything less than that in good quality, at least, right? But the phone, mine is an Oppo Reno 14 Pro. Of course, I go for the flagship, and that one it's three three times cheaper than any camera.
I don't want to interrupt
I
you. I just feel like you can do a whole tutorial on how you were able to do that just from your phone because I thought it was very creative.
I would not know where to start because for me, since I don't have anything else, because for me it was very clear. Either I do with the phone, or either I start investing in an endless chain of shopping for gears and all that stuff. All right. So do I have the budget? Do I have access to budget to go that way? No, I
Mhm.
don't. I just have a mad technician salary. Okay, then phone. No, for me was a choice of budget.
For sure.
And right now it's not that budget anymore, especially seeing how fast the cell phones are developing all the cameras and the features it comes along with. All right.
Yes.
So for
And
me, it's
where do you see Coffee Logic fit into the market? So what if you're where do you see that what shows it most relates to? Because it's very unique and it's very niche.
it's a compendium of multiple shows. Are you familiar with the Muppet Show? The old
Years.
Muppet Show
The
is like
yeah,
maybe like
oh,
in the
yeah.
80s.
Yes.
Do you remember Standard and Waldorf, the grumpy old guys at the balcony criticizing the show?
I believe so.
Okay,
That's a long time.
yeah, you just look for them on YouTube. It's hilarious. You're gonna die. Okay, I love the chemistry. When I was a kid, as a matter of fact, I mean, just to be honest with you, when I was a kid, I watched the Muppets for them because I love those two criticizing everything. I just love that. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. And I was a kid. I was what, 5, 6, 7 years old. I had no idea the jokes, but I love the chemistry they had. I like the image. I like the presence on screen they had. It was just so fun. Everything. And then another influence I had is Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau. I mean, those two guys. Come on, rest in peace, both of them. With there's a movie, Grumpy Old Man and Grumpier Old Man. It's some movie in the 90s. Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau, those two, always crafting jokes, but seriously, that kind of humor. I like
Mm.
serious humor. I like intellectual humor. I'm not really a fan of slapstick comedy. I mean, everyone can and do all kinds of funny things. I
Your
can't. I don't know.
comedy makes you think. It's very philosophical. And
Yeah,
and I even wanna say that I feel like you can teach people a lot of lessons also within it because, again, people are doing the same thing on repeat, but they're not actually making any sort of progress.
I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. And this is exactly what I wanted to bring something. I'm not sure if you are familiar with the humor in East Europe during the communist times. I
Mm-mm.
mean, this must sound something like alien language right now because it even newer generations in Romania they they don't know that. Oh, by the name, my Stanescu family name is Romanian. Okay,
Okay.
that's my own. So when I was a kid, after the Muppets, it came uh, the censorship comedy, censorship time comedy. So the communists were censoring everything that was political, all right? Everything that was portraying the West state basically as the big place of opportunity. So you could not talk about it. So the humor was very clever, very intelligent. It was most of the times, most of the actors, and you have great actors, they're all passed. No, not all passed away. There's still a few of them still alive and still acting and still doing work, but most of them are gone already. Delivering that comedy in a deadpan way, you know, you think it's so serious, but you can't hold your laughter back on your seat, you know, because he's saying something so serious, and you realize how absurd that whatever he's talking about. And I wanted to resurrect that kind of humor, all right, with influences from the West, the Muppets, for example, those two guys, Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau. So I wanted to do something different. I wanted to say, if with a sketch concept, absurdist, you can have your own arc and make it in a series. You know, you
Mm.
have your standalone punchlines, whatever you call it, in each episode. But then, if you observe, you'll see the trajectory of Anton. In the first one, it's called Child's Notes. He is nobody. Yeah, I mean, he's a failed actor. He was after 10 years, he was asked to stand behind vending machines. He
Mm-hmm.
had screenplays that went nowhere. They were just accumulating cyber dust, nothing. And in the last episode, in Final Reckoning from season one, he gets to be the lead role in a commercial, in TV commercial. But all this while, they have all ranting about Chad. Chad is a figure, is a character, is an unseen character in the story. It's a gatekeeper. Those who says, well, you know, the typical gatekeeper, the corporate side of the craft.
Yes.
So we criticize Chad a lot in those, but those Chad, yeah.
Can I also ask you why you chose the metaphor with the vending machine and the coffee machine of how Gustav really believes that that's progress? Does that relate to anything, or can you elaborate more on that of why you chose those concepts?
Right. Anton is the type that sees, that finds meaning in every detail when it comes to filming set and film industry. So when the machine gets jammed, he thinks it's a message, you know? When the vending machine says insert coin, he thinks it's a queue line or something like that. I mean, then he jumps from the vending machine to the coffee machine. The coffee machine didn't give him much problems. Gustav is saying, I can see what you're doing here. So from the vending machine, you slide to the coffee machine. Then you went through the kitchen, missing the cooking station, only to end up somewhere in the street behind the lamppost. What's
Mm.
gonna be next? A refrigerator? And Gustav says, okay, I buy it. Why not selective? Because the vending machine, to access a vending machine, you need a coin. The fridge, everyone can open, something like that, you know? So I mean, this kind of absurdist. So he treats every appliance. I mean, you'll see somewhere in many times during the show, Gustav making, oh, I can see your appliance pilgrimage continues, or you are interpreting your appliances again. I mean, this is like, you know, the general things. Because Anton is yearning to be part of something meaningful, that he finds meaning in everything. If Chad sends him notes, he's happy because he's in the spotlight with Chad. He's approving some of his screenplays on the way. And when Chad ghosts him, he said, "No, he's not ghosting me. He's doing a creative pause." You know, I mean, yeah, I mean, he's so absurd. This guy, he's so pathetic sometimes. You know,
I love it. It's very dry humor, but it's very relatable to many people, and I think it relates to real life. Do you have a dream cast of who you would want to play these characters?
I will keep Gustav for myself,
I see. I can see that. I can see that.
but I would love to have someone portraying Anton,
Yes. Who?
and I would love to be someone so different from me, very contrasting, because I love contrast in everything. I mean, in screen, everything has to be contrast, right? To tell a story. If everything is homogeneous and everything blending in, there's no contrast, you know?
Yes. And outside of this, are you making anything else that we should know about?
I do acting when I have the chance to act for someone else's project. For example, when MediaCorp in Singapore has some roles and I get a call because I'm in their database. So there's a good thing about the MediaCorp here is they go first to their database when they need an actor.
Okay.
If they
Okay.
don't find, then they place a open casting call. But
I love
usually it's difficult to find a Caucasian actor uh, with my features, but you know, usually they are younger, more handsome, with some hair. So when they're looking for someone in the 50s with no hair, then okay, that narrows down the choices. So
it.
I have to
Makes
make the joke. I have to make the joke.
Oh my goodness, it makes it easier for sure. I'm thinking about I know you want to make this a web series. For anyone that does want to work with you, where's the best place for them to reach you? Because I know you have an awesome website you took me to.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and it's yeah, adjusted to English a bit. Yeah.
Oh, I like it. Thank you so much, and we will talk soon, okay? This was a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.